Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back to your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we are going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So with that being said, I hope that you are all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. So with all of the FUD around Hedera, with all of the FUD around Hbar and whatever you want to call it, right? All the noise. Well, when you tune all the noise out and you really kind of focus on the facts here, one, we were going to have a pullback regardless. We talked about it. We addressed it. Things don't go up only, right? They go up, pull back, then they go up even higher. I put out a post and I was quoting Credible Crypto and I said the FUD will fuel the Hbar rocket to go even higher. And this is the post from Credible Crypto, and we have this post down here. So it initially started on the 24th. This was the post originally on Hbar, and we have looking for something like this after completing a nice 5-wave impulse off the lows. Note the first step is a break in lower time frame market structure to kick things into gear. After that, if we can print a higher low, we should be able to run it back to the high. And here is the overall chart that he has, again coming back down into this like 12-11 cent zone, and then having a nice break to the upside of roughly 20 plus cents. And then this is the updated view. Failed to form a constructive base or break in structure from my prior post, but nothing has really changed. Now looking quite constructive on low time frame, still in my long and looking for a nice clean impulse to the upside as long as levels are respected here. And then here is the overall chart. So he has initially a wave 5 impulse on the left side, right? And then we have the bottom level, hold for continuation. Then we have the 1, 2, and then the 3 wave would take us to about roughly 15 cents or so before backtesting and ranging on about 14.5 cents. And then the next move to the upside would be the wave 5, which should take us to 20 plus cents. Now, outside of this, right, this is currently what the Hbar price chart looks like over on CoinMarketCap. If you want to look at it in candle bodies, here's the candle bodies. Again, we already still have this baseline down here at about roughly 11 cents. And now we're just kind of ranging again on another base around like 12 cents, waiting for the big move to the upside. So as we really kind of look at this, right, like structure wise, it still looks very healthy. Obviously there was a lot of hype. There's a lot of, FUD. There's questionable stuff getting thrown out there. I already reported on it, but, as we do look at Hbar, I'm still looking for higher prices here. Like this was not the only thing for Hbar, right? Like we're still going to go much higher in my opinion. And right now we're still ranging on resistance as support, which is a very good sign. And I do ultimately believe that we are about to have a much larger price move in the market, similar to what we had back here, right? Like we ran all the way up to about like 16 cents or so. Even this initial move here from like the 18-20 cent zone, it back tested right around 12 cents, and then we ran all the way up to about like 45 cents. Are we there yet? I don't know, but it is playing out in a very similar way. So we're definitely watching Hbar closely right now, and I do think that if you are holding Hbar, now is not the time to be extremely excited, but I do think that the next wave is going to be very exciting regardless of if now's the time to get excited or not, because this next move could very well take us to the 20 plus cent zone. And then after that, we really kind of target some higher prices, which I did outline in my previous Hbar video as well before the FUD one, because what I was essentially looking for was a pullback regardless around like the 20 cent zone. And I even said like it's basically around the 2021 summer lows at about roughly almost 17 cents to about 20 cents as the big area that we need to flip. But we are expecting a pullback from there down to like 15 cents or so. We went significantly lower. And the reason why I said 15 cents is because like this was like the 13 cent zone from March of 2021 that we wicked back down to. But then after we did that, the next move was roughly like 37 cents. So we're watching closely. The next move should take us to like 20-25 cents, which is going to be pretty cool. After that, we have a slight little pullback, again, range sideways, and then the next wave up should be either new all-time highs or at least retesting the all-time high, which we are very excited about. Now, the Hbar Foundation did put out clarification regarding Tuesday's announcement. Again, it reads the same exact way. I mean, there was no confusion on my end. I told you guys already, right? Like this is still in collaboration with Archax and even Onera. they're tokenizing shares of the Blackrock ICS US Treasury Money Market Fund, and they selected Hedera. Now, did BlackRock select Hedera? No, but Archax, with Onera and BlackRock, all knew that they were going to choose Hedera to tokenize on. And this is because of the fact that Hedera is extremely efficient. It's one of the best platforms to tokenize anything on, and that's why exactly Hedera got chosen in this aspect. So there's really no confusion here at all. But regardless, as we do look at this, right, all of it's noise. Everyone that's making a big deal out of this, or anyone that did make a big deal around it, it's all noise. Over here is a great aspect to really kind of focus on when it comes to tokenization and the game being played. ISO 2022, let's do a post this. Once real-world assets are integrated into the blockchain, the narrative changes. $454.4 trillion. Unprecedented influx into the digital asset industry. It is coming sooner than you think. And, this is a small number versus what we really know about, right? Because the World Economic Forum predicted like 867 trillion or something crazy like that. And those numbers grew, right? Like it's almost $1 quadrillion. We already know that Archax, actually, the CEO, said that it's a $1 quadrillion plus market. As we really think about that, right? There is so much money out there, and it will all be tokenized. We know everything of value will be tokenized. We have here that being able to move assets between different blockchains isn't a huge advantage yet. This is due to the relatively modest market capitalization of cryptocurrencies, which constitute the essence of digital assets, approximately 1.45 trillion as of November 25th, 2023. However, when real-world assets is integrated into the blockchain, the narrative changes. According to Credit Suisse, the anticipated total global wealth in 2023 is approximately 454.4 trillion. This staggering amount represents an unprecedented potential influx of funds into the digital asset industry. And when you think about it, right, like US Treasury, stablecoins, real estate, like there's so much happening around tokenization and even just like the values behind some of these things. Stablecoins, although it's not like a huge market for some people, back in 2022, stablecoins, they settled $11 trillion. I mean, that's a massive amount of money, right? And stablecoins are a huge deal. And having them on these platforms is a big deal as well. And remember that Hedera did launch the stablecoin studio, which is a huge move for enterprises as well to leverage Hedera and stablecoin initiatives through Hedera. Outside of that, we already know that there's a lot of big moves being made around Hedera with tokenization initiatives. Archax is a big name in the space. Everyone should focus on Archax, especially right now. We have this article is for institutions only and is not suitable for retail investors. Leveraging real-world asset tokenization in the Hedera network, Archax stands at the forefront of this digital transformation. And over here we have the full breakdown, right? Like the financial world is on the cusp of a revolution, which is set to unlock unprecedented efficiency, accessibility, and value using Web3. Leveraging real-world asset tokenization in the Hedera network, Archax Exchange stands at the forefront of this transformation. And then when we go over here to the full breakdown, we have Archax is establishing itself as a premier trusted partner for institutional investors to participate in the digital asset market by leveraging the transparency of Web3 and distributed ledger technology. Archax's regulated exchange and custody platform is the future of finance. $500 million to be moved on chain by Archax this year. 63 funds available to be tokenized on Archax. 7 asset managers actively onboarded to Archax as well. Now, outside of Hedera, there's a lot of players tied into Archax. Algorand, the XRP Ledger, I think Matic as well. There's some very large players already here. And the big thing to focus on is that it's not just going to be one player, right? Like it's not just going to be one player that is involved here. Institutions are going to choose specific players to be involved. They're going to be, choosing what they want to utilize. And that scope could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 different players like Hedera, the XRP Ledger, Stellar. I mean, the list goes on. But, one thing to really focus on here is how close we are to that major revolution around tokenization. We actually have down here, Archax is pioneering a new era of digital asset trading. The team at Archax believes that the financial world is on the cusp of a revolution thanks to what DLT can unlock, and they're ready to help their clients capitalize on it. What started as a passing interest in DLTs by its founders, Archax has grown into one of the most innovative financial services organizations in the world today, with the promise to fundamentally reshape how institutional investors interact with digital assets. And yeah, like as we, really look at what's going on, like this whole focuses on institutions. And the reason why institutions are crazy about tokenization is because of what it unlocks, not only for them, but also their clients as well. There is a tremendous amount of opportunity here behind tokenization. And remember how big of a name Archax is, right? Like everyone was so hyped up about this announcement with Archax and Blackrock and Hedera. But guys, the big news here is just Archax working with Hedera. Why? Because of how substantial of a name Archax really is. When you go over to their board members, right, like their advisors, here are some of the advisors behind Archax. You have the chairman at the Royal Bank of Canada, former chief strategy officer, London Stock Exchange Group, right? HSBC. This is the prime MD of Prime Finance at HSBC. There's a few other names on here as well. Like these are very large names. And here's the investors also behind Archax as well. Like this is not just small, like a small player in this game. Like just to put it into perspective, every single one of these companies that have a substantial background, meaning they're, investors or their board of directors, or even like some of the technology partners here, like R3, like I just recently broke down R3 with XDC. Guys, look at the names behind R3, just to put this into perspective. Like this is the growing snowball effect and the domino effect of some of these names like Archax working with specific names like Algorand or even the XRP Ledger or even Matic or Hedera. Like think about how much bigger this is. It's not just about like, oh, hey, Hbar's very bullish because Archax is working with them. No, this is very big for the entire industry, the entire ecosystem. And it's going to benefit all players involved because of the names involved. We're already starting to see a very large move being made here, right? Like just to put it into perspective, like Securrency, right? Securrency recently got bought out by the DTCC. They settled $2.5 quadrillion worth of securities per year. Securities are being tokenized right now as we speak. Like think about the bigger picture here. Outside of just like, oh, Blackrock, like I could care less about Blackrock if I'm being completely honest with you guys. That's just one name out of many that are going to be involved in this space. And by the way, Blackrock, they might have $10 trillion in assets under management, but we're talking about 10 trillion versus this 454 trillion. Or we're talking about, Archax working with, like I said, the DTCC or even R3, right? Here's the DTCC over here on R3's website. That's settling $2.5 quadrillion per year. And then you mix in all of the other names on here. Like, think about the bigger picture here. It's not so much about, oh, who's working with BlackRock? Like, yeah, in the short term, that's a speculative pump, right? Like, this move on Hbar was great in terms of the speculative pump of like BlackRock working with Hbar, if you will, which we do know that BlackRock was aware of the whole thing regardless, right? But the whole thing that I'm really focused on here is just, all right, that's what happens when BlackRock's name's involved. But let's think bigger than BlackRock. And what is bigger than BlackRock? Well, you have the DTCC. You have all of these big names like HSBC, for an example. And then you also connect the dots with like these central banks, major financial giants. Like, guys, it's so much bigger than just BlackRock. Like, yeah, this is a starting point. But as we really look at what's going on here, it is so much bigger than what majority thinks. It's not so much about BlackRock. I don't care about BlackRock. I care about what's going to be happening over the course of the next couple weeks, months, and even years ahead. And what we do know is that hundreds and hundreds of trillions of dollars are going to be tokenized on chain. And yeah, it's not just going to be Hbar that benefits from here. It's going to be multiple players, right? Like even over here, as you look at the cryptocurrencies involved on just Archax's website, you have a ton of the major players here. Now, who is actually involved in terms of tokenization? Well, we know that Hedera is. We know that Matic is. We also know that Algorand is. Like, these are just a few names, right? And when we think about that, like, it's not just going to be one winner, but just a few percentages of what will be tokenized is all that needs to move over these networks. This is truly one of the biggest opportunities that you have in front of you. Tokenization is going to morph into a much bigger picture than what anyone can even perceive. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.